So what I like to do is, I always start with a little competition. Who can guess my accent? So those who do know me, who can guess who doesn't know me what my accent is? Because I just want to get the elephant out of the room. Scottish. Anything else? Irish? Irish?
Tasmanian.
Maybe. Kiwi? Anything else? Come on, most people think American, but they're too polite to say, are you American? No, I'm correct. I'm Scottish. I get that out of the way because most people are like, what's her accent? I'm a little bit weird. Little bit outside the box of my southern friends. You can't understand them. You can't communicate with them. You have to try and guess what the lips that are going really, really, really fast are saying. And this is one of the fundamental things that we struggle with is communication. How do we show up and think we've understood a message, bring that back to our business, put it into action, and oopsie, somehow I've managed to piss my partner off, piss my client off. So the reason I share my accent is the biases that come through when we interpret what and where they come from in the world. Whether we like it or not, we are all narcissists. Did you know that? I'm a nice narcissist. What I mean by that is we come with a set of judgments. We come with a set of preconceived ideas about religion, about cultures, about blonde hair, about my lipstick. All of you right now are judging me, and I'm okay with that. That's where my narcissism kicks in. I'm okay with what you think of me. However, my clients, my joint ventures, those people I do business with, I want to make sure that they truly understand who I am, so when I show up to give, we're on the same page. Does that make sense? Bob and Jane were doing what some would know and are familiar with, contra. And it was an exchange contra. So Bob met Jane, this is a true story, at a networking event. We've all been to them. And Bob went, oh, you're a photographer. Sorry, I'm not looking at you, but Jane's a photographer. I digress. We had a chat. So she came to me afterwards about, I've got this faulty, damaged relationship with contra. How can I bring the conversation back? How can we have resolution in this exchange? That's how I was brought in. And what had happened was he had disappointment with the photos that he was receiving, And that was because she couldn't have him relax in the time period and blah, blah, blah. She photoshopped, she delivered. From her perspective, she gave him what and the best she could do with her skill sets and, you know, what you've got to work with. He also delivered. Thank you, it's not loud enough. And what wasn't clear was she expected, pick up on that word, to have an SEO optimized, a shopping cart, and Google optimized website. So what happened? They had a verbal agreement that didn't have the details broken down. She didn't know to ask what was and wasn't included in a website. We make assumptions that you would expect it to have a shopping cart, surely, in today's commercial online shopping era. No, there's an extra charge because shopping carts are quite difficult to set up, allegedly, whatever. And likewise, she didn't declare to him that if he wasn't happy with his photos, he would have to pay for a second shoot. So both of them were operating from their business model. They understood their profession well enough to say, well, this is in scope and this is out of scope. Catching on some of these key assumptions that were made, expectations that weren't declared, the difficult conversations, and we wonder why we have statements like, I'm never doing contra work again. So where does all this come from? It comes from how we do business, how we show up ourselves. Not everybody is able to truly dissect what they do and say, this is in scope, it's a business agreement. And certainly, I made quite a few mistakes when I was starting my coaching profession. We're coaches, we're here to give. The amount of times I would receive calls as a wing girl, which means out of hours, if you need support, I'll support you. Oh yeah, they took that up. But they went outside the scope. I hadn't set the scope. You can contact me. 11 o'clock at night on a Sunday really isn't kind of in my scope. But I didn't declare, so now I have very clear guidelines of what those hours are when I'm freely available. If I'm not with a client, how can you get hold of me between these hours? And I also set the expectation that do not assume that I'm going to instantly be able to pick up a call. If I'm in a deep dive for 4 hours, I'm not going to be able to speak to you for at least 4.5. Does that make sense? So be careful. We're the experts in what we do. Don't assume that the other party has asked the questions to clarify what the contract is that you're going to include. Does that make sense? So the issues of being a giver, the issues that I created probably in the first 18 months to 2 years, we don't realize that you haven't declared your full desires in the contract or exchange. Alright, we don't realize that I wanted a website that was optimized, Google ranked, and shopping cart. I just assumed incorrectly I would get that. We haven't asked enough questions because we're not the expert in the services or the deals or the products we're receiving. It should be in our effort to say, what else should I be asking? I literally will ask, is there anything else I need to know? That's not a dumb question, that's a smart question. Is there something I haven't asked? Oh yeah, well you need to be aware of X, Y, and Z. We reluctantly consent to an arrangement that isn't in alignment with what we're looking for. So if Bob and Jane had a proper discussion around what was and wasn't included, they might have come to a different conclusion that that exchange wouldn't work. Because he was going to give more in his perception, and she wasn't going to be able to deliver with the small window that she gave herself without reshoot opportunities. Does all of that kind of resonate, make sense? And perhaps some of us haven't learned how to congruently give. What does that mean? Give without expectation in return. So here's my questions. How do you provide referrals to another expert? If you pass on a client a recommendation, how do you do that in your mind? And how do you like to be shown appreciation? Thank you, quick Facebook acknowledgement, what do we want? So just answer that within your head. The second question is, how, when you receive a gift, whether it's private or in business, how do you show your appreciation for that gift? I'm not a gushy person. I might think I am, but I'm not. I'm a strategic thinker. How am I going to use this? Here's a beautiful example. I was giving a bowl a couple of weeks ago, and the first thing I thought was, it's quite big. Where am I going to put that? So my appreciation wasn't, oh my God, it's beautiful. Literally, where am I going to fit that into my office? If the other person was uncomfortable with my appreciation, my expression back, that could create a lot of resentment. The biggest problem with contracts and exchanges is resentment. And agreements, we don't declare what's included in those agreements. And the next question, when giving, do you expect to receive in a certain way? So how we do business, how we show up, how we express appreciation and gratitude is usually what we're looking for in return, aka love languages. How do those love languages that can apply in any relationship? So for those who don't understand or haven't heard, pardon me, of the love languages, they're how do we feel appreciated? How does it fill our tank? It can be through touch. Men are high proportion of men are in the touch. That makes them feel connected. There's a whole science behind that. We won't go into that. Touch. My one is quality time. The thing that I most appreciate is when somebody puts their phone down and they don't look at it. Quality time. Receiving gifts. It's one that society makes wrong, but if that's how you appreciate gestures and thoughtfulness towards you, you've got to be aware and own it. Acts of service. That's my man's one. He loves doing things for me. And whenever he does it, even though I don't necessarily feel I need it, I have to acknowledge it because that's his love language. And I always forget the words. Words of appreciation. So my business coach, she is a deep appreciator of words. She wants to know that I have got value at the end, that I need to reinforce to her, thank you, that was an awesome conversation. I got what I needed. So that's how they can be used in your personal, but if you bring those into your business life, we have a bias at an unconscious level of how we want to do business, how we want to receive appreciation. And if we're doing and showing up differently, or only in that manner, we're going to come against people who don't do things the same way as us. It's going to create tension. And more importantly, things like resentment, damaged reputation, because people who don't do business with them, they don't X, Y, Z. Some of that makes sense. So giving actually comes from within. If you're able to give and understand without the attachment of any perceived outcome, that's truly giving. But, as somebody highlighted, boundaries. Boundaries. We must, and that's not, I'm not going to give in this. No, the boundaries are what's in scope and outside scope. What fits your value of sharing versus your value of receiving. And some quick tips for how you can do things differently. Intention setting. Be really clear what you want. If Bob had said, I want 3 awesome shots, and I'm prepared to do whatever it takes to get that, that's a different kind of approach you would have brought to it. As far as money exchange values, I don't do them. So if I've got a $5,000 package and I want to receive $5,000 worth of services, that's not how I do business. I look for the outcomes. You're looking for this result. I would like to receive this result from your services, your products. The value is irrelevant because it's perceived. So if somebody were to help me write a TED Talk and it takes them 10 minutes, for me, that's worth 20 grand. For what it means to me. Doesn't matter their effort. So it's about understanding what do I really want to take away from this exchange, this contra, this deferred agreement, and bring it with your expertise of saying, these are the criteria, these are boundaries, and this is not. Because we know what we do and don't include in our products and services, and so to give really comes from ourselves. That makes sense? Set up soft agreements, soft written agreements. They don't need to be formal legal contracts. Just set up, this is what I'm going to receive and time frames. And be mindful if you're being pushed to the bottom of priorities lists. Raise and have conversations. If you would like to contact me, get in touch with me, reach out. I offer and I gift without any expectation 60-minute breakthrough calls. Because if I can serve and help in one phone call, my job is done. My purpose is served. So that is a true gift. That's all I offer. So if you'd like to do